Hello, and thank you for choosing to learn more about youth-specific nutrition education. This presentation is presented by Complete Children's Health in collaboration with Always in Motion Nutrition. I'm Nicole Legler, registered dietitian, here to teach you more on dietary fat, talking more on how it impacts our body, as well as the best types of fat to consume to support a healthy diet. Let's get started. So when we look at sources of fats in our diet, we have two main divisions, our saturated fat and our unsaturated fat. Saturated fat is solid at room temperature, so if you leave those foods on the counter all day, they would remain as a solid, versus unsaturated fat is going to be liquid at room temperature. Leaving it on the counter, it's going to turn into a liquid. The reason between the two differences here is actually the chemical makeup of each type of fat, and that chemical makeup is then shown to impact our bodies in different ways. Our saturated fat is our more unhealthy fat. These are commonly found in our animal-based foods, such as beef, pork, full-fat dairy, butter, eggs, as well as some other plant foods such as coconut, palm oils, and typically our fried foods. We want to make sure to limit our intake of high saturated fat foods as it potentially has negative consequences on things like our heart health, cholesterol, triglycerides, all over heart health in general, and other potential negative consequences on our weight and bodily function. Our unsaturated fats, those liquid at room temperature, are mostly found in our plant-based foods. These are known as our healthy fats, and they're in things like avocados, nuts, nut butter, seeds, vegetable oils like olive oil and avocado oil, some seafood, which we'll dive into here a little bit more, and other things that are going to be made with healthy oils like an Italian dressing or hummus, for example. These unsaturated fats are going to be what we primarily want to be consuming when choosing fats in our diet because they're going to support our general needs for energy, general health, brain function, as well as just our daily cellular function, what our body needs to be running on optimal demands. When you dive into it a little bit closer, you can highlight a really important fat that we must consume in our diet, and that's our omega-3 fatty acids, also known as our fish oil, if you've ever heard of that as a supplement. Our body on its own cannot produce omega-3 fatty acids. It's a specific structure of fat that we must be consuming through our diet, and a lot of people don't get enough. Omega-3s play a key role in our health, our development, and also our bodily functions. A couple important things to note here in this specific fat is that it is a key component in building our cell membranes, the structure of our cells, and how they interact with one another. It also supports our health, our heart health, keeping our triglycerides and our bad cholesterol lower and supporting good amounts of healthy cholesterol. And then another thing it does support is cognitive function. Lots on our brain function here, as well as potential impacts on our longevity and aging, as well as is quite frequently used in things like concussion treatments. So if you've ever been in an impact sport and you've had a concussion at a young age, you might want to talk to your pediatrician and your parents and talking about omega-3 use, whether that's through food or supplementation, to make sure that your brain is functioning optimally, and omega-3s can definitely help with that. Some foods that are high in omega-3s is our fatty fish. So things like salmon and mackerel. If you don't eat fish at home, you might not be getting omega-3s on a regular basis, but they're also found in smaller amounts in other foods, such as chia seeds, flax seeds, also hemp hearts, walnuts, some other plants such as spinach, but you have to eat quite a bit of it to get enough, as well as some soy-based products such as tofu and edamame. These omega-3s are important to highlight in this fat section as they're specifically found in these kind of key one-off type foods. And if you're not consuming enough of those regularly, you want to make sure to try to add some of these sources in. And if not, chat with your pediatrician, your parents to talk more about how you're getting enough of these really important fats to support your overall well-being, especially as you develop and age. In terms of how much total fat that you need in a day, it does depend on things like activity level, age, height, weight, so on and so forth, but we can just start by adding in some healthy fat into each meal. We want to make sure you're having 1 to 2 servings of fat per meal, and that serving size and portion might change again based on what your needs are individually, but here's a good place to start. Adding things like a tablespoon of nut butter, 1 to 2 tablespoons of chia or flax seeds that have those omega-3s in them, a fourth a cup of nuts or something like trail mix as a snack, 1 to 2 teaspoons, so not a lot, of an oil or oil-based dressing, like a salad dressing, for example, or a fourth to a half a medium avocado, fourth a cup of guacamole, 2 to 4 tablespoons of hummus. Those healthy fats are going to be where you want to add to meals most importantly. Now you're going to get other fat sources such as an egg yolk and saturated fat such as fat from beef, for example. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. When looking at the difference between the two and making sure that you're getting enough fat in the day, you want a primary amount of your fat sources to be coming from these healthy, unsaturated fats, but you're also bound to have some saturated fats in your diet, and that's absolutely okay. So having other fat sources such as egg yolks, or maybe you're having a reduced fat dairy such as a 2% cottage cheese or 2% milk, for example. Those things are string cheese. Those things are absolutely fine to be including in your diet, but they are going to contribute to your fat needs. So you definitely want to be choosing some of each, more of those unsaturated fats. Here's a great example of serving sizes here for you to reference. But if you are having 2 eggs, let's say, for examples, or butter on your toast, you probably don't need an extra tablespoon of nut butter. So that can also replace some of these suggestions here, depending on what types of fats you're having at meals. Looking at how to include this in a balanced diet, couple easy things that you can start doing by creating more healthy fats in your diet. So first, just those easy swaps between saturated and unsaturated fats. So a really good example is cooking with olive oil versus butter, or let's say you put a lot of butter on a toast or full fat cream cheese on a bagel. You might want to switch that for something like peanut butter, for example, or avocado. You can also choose reduced or low fat products, especially with dairy. So doing something like fat-free or reduced fat Greek yogurt, 1% milk, maybe even skim if you like that, low fat cottage cheese. You can also do reduced fat mixed cheeses like taco cheese or string cheeses that are lower in fat. And then also choosing to eat lean proteins when available. So things like lean or extra lean ground beef, so 90 or more percent lean, chicken and turkey, which naturally have lower amounts of fat in them, those are going to allow you to get a lot of protein without as much saturated fat. Again, all things in moderation, but if you have a diet full of full fat dairies, butters, fatty meats, these are some easy ways that you can start progressing your diet to a little less of that full fat or fried food and a little bit more of that healthy fat, as it's giving you those fat needs with more of the right nutrients and how it impacts your body. In terms of impacting your body, let's talk a little bit more about that. So first we have our vitamin absorption. So there are certain vitamins in our bodies, A, D, E, and K, specifically to note, that are what's called fat-soluble vitamins. The fat that you consume in your diet is actually helping to absorb those vitamins in your body. So vitamin D, for example, we're getting from the sun, A, E, and K, we're getting more from foods. But when you have fat in your diet, then you're going to be able to absorb those vitamins into your bloodstream and into your body a lot easier. Also, fat gives us a primary use of energy when we're at resting rate. So right now, talking on this video, you watching this video, we're burning mostly fat for energy. It's going to be used mostly for energy production when our heart rate is low, under 50% of our max heart rate. So having fat in your diet is going to help keep those energy stores well maintained and so that you're able to function with energy all day long. And then lastly, for our heart health, it can go either way. So fat, if we're having high amounts of saturated fat or high volumes of fried foods, for examples, that types of fat can have a negative impact on our heart health and overall well-being, whereas unsaturated fats are going to be beneficial for our heart health. Omega-3s are going to be beneficial for our brain health as well. So it does impact our heart health as well as our general health in either direction, but making sure you have those unsaturated fats are going to be really beneficial for your heart health long term, reducing your cholesterol as a really common thing that is going to be elevated over the years. So making sure your diet itself is going to be heart health friendly, sticking to those unsaturated fats. If you have any questions for us, feel free to reach out. We'll leave some more information here in the caption, but make sure to like and subscribe to our channel to learn more about all things nutrition related for youth. Thanks.